So I wanted to tell you about something that happened yesterday. I was at work and I was going to the bathroom, and it's like this big corporate office type bathroom. You have a row of sinks on your side, and then you have the cubicles at the end. So I was walking towards the cubicles, and there was a guy coming out, like quite short, nerdy dressed. And this is going to sound very autistic to explain, but if you can imagine the row of sinks to my left, and this guy was sort of on my left coming towards me, and I'm trying to go past him to get the cubicles, he sort of does like this sudden like ducking motion with his shoulders and head, and like narrows his arms and puts them forward, just like you would when you're squeezing through a really narrow passage, right? So if I'm just walking towards him and the sinks are to my left, he's kind of like ducking and squeezing past me to get to the sinks, right? And you're going to be like, why are you making a video on this? Like, he was just getting out of the way. But I get it if it sounds autistic. The impression he gave me of the guy, what do you think I thought of him in that moment? Do you think I looked at him with respect and thought that he was powerful and important? No. Knowing nothing about the person, I don't know the guy himself. I just painted this picture in my mind immediately, like, yep, he's a low value man. He's getting out of my way. I'm high status. It sounds very, very dark, very cold to say, but that's exactly what my primitive brain thought, right? And so I wanted to draw your attention towards your body language and the way you go about life. Jordan Peterson's first rule in his book, 12 Rules for Life, is to stand up straight with your shoulders back. And this is going to be some sort of video where I'm trying to motivate you to have good posture, although that's important, and to try to emanate confidence and fake it till you make it, motivational stuff. It's not going to be like that. But I wanted to just draw your attention to how your body reflects your self-image. Because chances are that guy, someone who would duck like that when some other person's coming towards them, probably doesn't have the best self-image. And I made a previous video about this. It's more of a symptom that your mind isn't in the right place. And I think it's very relevant for us, having been raised by single mothers, because chances are, if you're watching this video and you've been following the channel, you're aware that you're lacking some traits, or you might be overly feminine. And that's why, you're watching these videos to try and improve yourself. But being aware of some of these shortcomings, let's call them, that you might have, probably puts a chip on your shoulder that you might have been carrying for years and years. And as a result, your self-image has suffered. So I want you to think back. Has your body language been reflective of a low status mindset at any point? Like that guy, have you found yourself getting out of other men's way or other women's way to try and make yourself small and not step on anyone's toes? Have you been scared to confront someone about an injustice that was done to you? Do you have this impression that people who came from nuclear families when their father was around are better than you, they're more complete? It's fine, be completely honest with yourself. Because if you have those beliefs, then it's always going to hold you back from your self-improvement journey and your path to becoming more masculine and adopting the masculine traits that you've wanted to have for so long. You don't want to be in your own way. So first, do that exercise. The second thing that I need you to understand is that while you have been raised by a single mother and you lack the male role model in your life to teach you the masculine ways, and you're not assertive enough to go after what you want, and your dating life may be suffering, you need to understand that it's your birthright to become the fullest version of the man you can be. Yes, of course, there will be some disadvantages you have if you stack yourself up against a guy who was raised in a nuclear family and the father was actually a strong masculine role model. And a lot of those guys who did have both parents around, their father wasn't such a role model for them. So it's not necessarily that they're doing better than you anyway, but let's say they are. There are certain skills and traits that you can develop with time and with evidence stacked in your favor. you have to understand that men have done a lot more with a lot less than what we have. I always think of that when I get into that mentality of, oh yeah, but the cards are stacked against me in so and so way. I always snap right out of it as soon as I think about, okay, I bet there's a motherfucker out there who's been through 10 times worse things and is doing 10 times better than I am. And there are those guys out there. And that snaps me right out. You need to realize that it's not going to limit your potential. Your potential is still there, and it's up to you to reach it. Yes, you might have to climb a bit more than a guy who had his father around, but you can still get there. Back to the story I was talking about, you need to start communicating your value through your body language. So, as cliche as it sounds, I am recommending that you stand straight with your shoulders drawn back and you face the world full on. Because it starts this virtuous cycle where you have an external image of someone who is confident, who is assertive, and to be respected. And people will act differently around you. And you seeing that will start to make you feel different about yourself, and you see yourself in a better light. So that's how you actually kickstart, this snowball effect to improve your self-image and to actually start manifesting the traits of a guy who has good self-image, that guy who gets his work done, who attracts the woman, who creates the brotherhood. And of course, it's not going to happen overnight, but you're going to start building that evidence in your favor. On top of that, you want to do the self-improvement habits that I talk about in these videos, whether that's hitting the gym, picking up a martial art, taking a cold shower, meditating, reading, doing things that are productive, and particularly things that you find challenging and uncomfortable. Because when you do hard things, you're automatically going to respect yourself more. And next time you come up and there's a guy in a social situation who's trying to walk past you, you're not going to cower away to make room for him, because you're not going to put him on this pedestal as being superior, because you're already putting in the work yourself, even if you're not at the destination you want to be. For example, I'm miles off the level where I want to be, but I've done enough work that when it came to this bathroom story, I was comfortable with taking up space and not really fussed about making way for someone just because they're passing by. Now, of course, don't be an idiot with this and don't start bullying people, but be comfortable with the space that you're taking and don't cower away from inciting a bit of conflict, a bit of friction if you want to tell someone something for doing an injustice to you. The more you work on yourself and the harder the things that you go through, the more you're going to feel comfortable with doing this stuff. And that's going to get you the respect, both of other people and most importantly, of yourself. If you're part of this community and you're one of my brothers, then I don't want you to be like that guy. No offense to him, I don't even know him, like I said. But I don't want you to be like that guy who is cowering away in fear and trying to squeeze his way past people so he doesn't cause any fuss and, makes his presence really small. I want men around me who are fucking owning their presence. Yeah, they're in the room and they're taking up space, and that's fine. That's the sort of energy I want to surround myself with. So I hope this has inspired you to stand up straight with your shoulders back and to grab life by the balls. If it has, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you in the community. As always, you can join our school community and our Discord server. Use the links in the description, as well as booking a one-to-one coaching call with me. I'll see you in the next video.